Greetings. This is the review of the markets for the first quarter of 2022. During the quarter, the stock market experienced the most volatility that we have seen since the beginning of the pandemic. While the U.S. market was down over 10% at one point, it rallied and ended the quarter just over 5% down. Now, looking at growth and value stocks separately, we can see that most of the sell-off was focused in the growth stocks, which have done so well over the past several years. By contrast, value stocks were up slightly for large cap and only down slightly for small cap stocks. And despite the overall down market, returns for the past 3 and 5 years still look quite good. Now, the relatively better performance of value stocks can be in large part credited to the strong performance of the energy sector. Compared to all the other sectors, it was the one that saw gains due to the situation in Ukraine. The sell-off in growth stocks, you can see, was most evident in the communications sector, but also in the technology sector, which is still sporting some remarkable 3 and 5 year return figures. Overall, global stocks were down about as much as U.S. stocks, but Russia's invasion of Ukraine pushed European stocks down over 7%. Large-scale shutdowns of important business centers in China due to COVID outbreaks were among the factors that pushed Chinese stocks down over 14% for the quarter. Understandably, the emerging markets index was also down approximately 7% due to its exposure to both China and Eastern Europe. The U.S. bond markets were also down in the first quarter as a result of the Federal Reserve's efforts to combat inflation. In March, the Fed wound down its 2-year bond buying program, which had been providing some base-level demand in the bond markets. The Fed also raised the rate at which it lends to banks by 0.25% for the first time since 2018. The Fed has also indicated that there will likely be some more increases in the coming months. Overall, the U.S. bond market was down approximately 5.5%, while investment-grade bonds were down a bit over 7%, as investors decided that they probably wanted a bit more safety. How the stock market performs going forward is going to depend on how well companies deal with the ongoing supply chain issues and how well they can maintain profit margins and pass on the rising costs to consumers. As for the bond markets, all eyes will be focused on how much the Federal Reserve decides to raise interest rates in the coming months. So that is your market review for the first quarter of 2022. Thank you for watching. And remember, you can always reach out to your Boulay financial advisor if you have investment questions. Take care until next time.